I know what I saw last night, and I know my brother Jay Cotto and 10 players. We all saw what we saw last night. I don't know about you Canelo fanboys out there, but I know that we know what we saw. I know that we 10 players and Jay Cotto did not see Kovalev versus Shabransky, Kovalev versus Alvarez, Kovalev versus Anthony Yardy, Kovalev versus Bernard Hopkins, Kovalev versus Andre Ward the first time. Was that the same? Was that the same Kovalev last night? Or did we see Kovalev throwing a pity-pat jab, a few looping hooks, a few straight rights that had nothing behind it, running, scared by a natural 154-pounder, well, naturally 160. Well, actually, Canelo Alvarez is finally fighting in his true weight class. Finally fighting in his true weight class at 175. Was he afraid of Canelo Alvarez, who when he finally moved up to 160, couldn't knock out Triple G? Didn't have Triple G afraid of his power. Even in the second fight, he was trying to bully, trying to be the more aggressive and bully fighter towards Triple G. And Triple G still wasn't afraid. Daniel Jacobs, he was boxing and moving, but he wasn't afraid. Did Kovalev all of a sudden be afraid? The same Canelo Alvarez who couldn't take out an old Miguel Cotto, couldn't take out Austin Trout, couldn't take out Laura. That same guy who couldn't take out the super duper hype job Cesar Chavez Jr. This is the guy that Canelo Alvarez, aka smaller version of Tommy Morrison. This is the guy that Kovalev was afraid of. To say that Kovalev took a dive is crazy. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're clueless. To say that about someone who feels like Kovalev took a dive, you're the one who's crazy. You're the one because you feel like you act like there hasn't ever been any corruption in boxing. As if Oscar De La Hoya has not did anything shady in boxing. Didn't one of the judges have Canelo beating Floyd Mayweather Jr. when he clearly won? What about the wide margins versus Triple G versus Cotto? Am I the only one? Me, Cotto, 10 players? Are we the only ones who see the truth? And what's going on with a guy who tested positive for banned substance and we all just supposed to forget about it as if he wouldn't take it anymore or use it anymore? This is the guy, the $300 million guy, $300 million 6-fight deal, I believe. Can't afford to lose a guy like Canelo, can we? No, DAZN, you wouldn't do that, would you? Would you partner up with Golden Boy Promotions? Talk to Kovalev behind the scenes and have him take a dive? Has fighters took dives in the past before? Or am I going senile right now? And I might be going crazy. I don't want to take no credit away from Canelo Alvarez. I think Canelo Alvarez is a hell of a good fighter. But is he fighting guys at the right time? Did he fight Jacobs at the right time? What idiot said Jacobs was in his prime? Did he fight Triple G in his prime? What idiot said Triple G was in his prime? Was Cotto in his prime? Was Mosley in his prime? And was Kovalev in his prime? Or was Kovalev past his prime, but still big enough and strong enough to beat the smaller man? That pity-pat jab and those punches, those straight right hands, those little left hooks here and there, he wasn't committing to anything because he wasn't trying to hurt Canelo. And then in the 11th round, he stops Kovalev. A guy who couldn't stop Triple G, who couldn't stop Daniel Jacobs, who's been knocked out before. Daniel Jacobs was dropped by Sergio Mora. Sergio Mora don't even have no punching power. And he ain't even a true middleweight. He's a 154-pounder. And he dropped Jacobs. And Canelo couldn't even stop Jacobs. But he stops Kovalev, and I'm supposed to sit here and believe that he's the next. You're going to insult Henry Armstrong? Henry Armstrong at the time where there was one champion per division, which means you had to fight everybody to be the man. Nowadays, 4 or 5 champions, they don't have to fight each other. So if Canelo is searching for greatness, then Better Beef is waiting for you. Better Beef would love to fight you. And I'm sure he ain't going to take no dive because he ain't past his prime. And he got a whole lot left. How dare some of you Canelo fans out there or boxing fans in general act like Kovalev wouldn't take a dive. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking up for Kovalev because I don't like Kovalev. I never liked him for my own reasons, for things that he's done. I don't like Kovalev, and I don't care about him losing or taking a dive. But what I am upset is you guys out there who believe that he wouldn't take a dive. They're selling and promoting Canelo Alvarez to be the best boxer of all time, to be better than Pacquiao, to be better than Floyd and accomplish more than Floyd. Let's not forget Floyd fought a green version of Canelo. So at the end of the day, it really don't matter. This is a prime Canelo, and they're selling and promoting him because they want him to be the best boxer to ever live. Not in my eyes. He ain't no Henry Armstrong in my eyes because you have to be every champion. You can't just hold a certain belt in each weight class and say you're a 3-time title holder like Henry Armstrong. It was one belt per division back then. So anybody who compares Canelo Alvarez to Henry Armstrong, you're a stupid idiot. Because there are other title holders at 160, 168, and 175. This is the MOBC, my own boxing community. Be on the lookout for my workout video tips. I'm back.